Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and happy Monday to you. It's time for Cheer Corner because that's what Mondays are all about. Some people dread Mondays, and I think Mondays are just awesome. When you love your work, then Mondays are great. I basically love every single day of the week. Sundays are awesome too, and maybe because Sundays are so wonderful, that's why Mondays are good too. God was really smart when He decided we should have a day of rest, and I, for one, appreciate that very much, as do many workaholics, I think, because if I wasn't mandated a day of rest, I probably wouldn't take one. So it's really nice to have a day where you recharge your spirit and get ready for the rest of the week. So my name is Jackie Vandersar Boot, and I'm a demonstrator in Canada and in the Netherlands. Now, this could be a little bit confusing because on the demonstrator site, if you are looking for a demonstrator, my name is still Jackie Bolsche in Canada and Jacomina Bolsche in Holland. And you're probably thinking, what the heck? Hello, Margot. So nice to see you. And I love it that you're telling us where you're from. So if you do come in and say hello, make sure you tell us where you're from. The reason I'm still going with my old name is that it is a big hassle to change your name officially. And when we got married officially in the Netherlands by law, they go with the name that's on your passport. And I have a 10-year passport. So here I thought getting married in the Netherlands, it was going to be Vandersar Boot. I wanted to have Gerard's name and I wanted to keep my maiden name in honor of my dad's family. So that's how I go by on social media. But if you're looking for a demonstrator, you got to look under Bolchin. Sorry, but I guess that's part of my history too. And it's also the last name of my kids. So you know what? No worries. Are you ready for a very fun card? I just couldn't wait. I saw this on the weekend from Tamara Bertram, my squirrel friend from Alberta. And yeah, I just had to try it as well. So I thought I can't make a Christmas card with it because Christmas cards, hello, Karen, that's not great for Cheer Corner. So, Cheer Corner, I really believe that we can change the world one card at a time. So, as I make this card, I want you to think about who should get it in the mail, and you can nominate someone. So, with no further ado, let's have a look. I'm going to switch the camera, and here we go. So, these are the dies that I'm using for the sentiment, which we'll do at the very end, and they are from the Nested Essentials dies. And maybe I should show those to you. Again, I'm apologizing in advance if the internet connection isn't strong enough, but I thought I'm going to try anyway until it's, you let me know it's just terrible. So here's my mess of Nested Essential dies. So you have these that are the round, and there's 4 of each one. Then you have these little guys. Well, they're not so little. There's 4 of every shape. So I'm just kind of laying them out here. It's not the greatest. I would love to invest in Stamp and Store, those magnetic things, but in the meantime, I usually put them on a magnetic sheet inside a stamp set. But these don't go with a stamp set, so I just tuck them right back into the envelope again, and that works. I always, yeah, storage is great, but if I'm going to spend money, I'd rather spend money on more stamp sets, dies, ink, and paper. So the storage bits, you're going to have to wait. I mean, I do have the stamp and storage that we offer is great. I love them. I'll share a picture later. And I also want to say thank you to you guys for participating on Saturday. I posted and you guys posted pictures of the things that you've been making. I love that. So today, if you end up making this card, please post your cards as well. So I use I think it's called Winter Meadow. And I'm using centimeters, okay, because that's what I'm working with in Holland. If I use inches, I waste so much cardstock, it's not even funny. So in North America, our cardstock is 8.5 by 11. And in Europe, it's an 8.25 by almost 11.75. So you're getting a longer, skinnier card. So we're going to take those 3 pieces and we're going to stack them and hold them together tightly. Okay, we're going to use those in a minute. I have 3 mats. In North America, you'll be using 4 by 5.25. I'm using 10 centimeters by 14.35 centimeters. And then, oh yeah, here's my saying. So the English one is sending hugs. And this says helemaal geweldig, which means totally awesome. And then your card base is 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4.25, or 21 centimeters by 14.85 centimeters scored at 10.5. Now here comes the fun part. Okay, so you're holding your 3 pieces of pattern paper tightly in your hand. And now you're getting your paper trimmer. My paper trimmer needs a clean, I see. And I'm going to angle my paper this way a little bit. This corner is going to go to the 2-inch mark, which is right here. And then I can cut it any which way I want. There's no measuring, but I want that deer. So I'm going to do it just like this so that my deer is not cut off. There. So I'm just going to put those aside. That's my one cut. Now I'm going to take this, and this corner is going to go to the 3-inch mark. So that's going to here, and the other corner is going to go in the cutting trough. Okay, so cutting trough and 3-inch mark, and then hold them firmly. Press down on your I don't even know what to call this thing. Well, anyway, it's the arm, the trimmer arm, and now you're going to cut. Okay, now we're going to keep our little stacks. Here we go. Move the paper trimmer out of the way. I won't need that again. And so now, this is the first cut that we made. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And then I'm going to take this one. Let's move this out of the way. Move my laptop a little bit. Okay, now this one is going to go onto the second pile here, like so. This one's going to go here, and this one's going to go back to the first pile. Okay, and then we're going to take this last one. It's going to go here. This one's going to go back to the first one. So basically, you have one of each pattern. Now I'm going to slide them over, and we're going to put them on our card base. So I have Lost Lagoon. This is the mat. Okay, there we go. I'm going to use liquid adhesive so I can slide them into place. We're going to start with our cute little deer. Okay, turn it around. And I could honestly do this all day long. This could be my Christmas card stack, but it's also really nice for other occasions. It doesn't have to be Christmas. And I love showing you that this card doesn't have to be a Christmas card, even though the paper was meant for Christmas cards. There we go. And I love that deer, by the way. I love deer. Living in Chatham, Kent, Ontario, for all of my formerly married life in Canada, Rondo Park was about a half an hour from Chatham, and there's lots of deer there. Now I have to think, how did I do this? Oh gosh, oh, I'm such a squirrel. Okay, it went like this. I'm telling you, if I can do this, you can do this. I'm a little directionally challenged, but I got it. And now this piece is going to go here, so turn it around. Anyway, I would drive to Rondo just to go and see the deer. And the best time to see deer is either really early in the morning at dawn or in the evening at dusk. Deer are generally quite shy creatures, and that's a safe time for them to come out. It's crazy windy outside right now. And Gerard has all these crates sitting outside for his amaryllis. They're plastic ones that the flowers go into before they get sorted. And they're blowing around, making quite a racket. Okay, so here's number 1. So we're making 3 cards today. And I am not looking at the comments. Let me just see if I can do that. I'm just going to pause for a minute and do that. Hello, Glenda. How was your surgery? I know you had surgery. Karen, how are things in New Brunswick? Is there snow? Okay, so now we're going to start with this top piece. Okay, so you're leaving a little bit of an edge, about 1/8 of an inch, I would say. And then, but it doesn't matter if it's not completely perfect. I forgot to mention that. Okay, and I know that when Tamara did her video, she mentioned someone called Mary, but I don't know which Mary it was. And so this wasn't Tamara's original idea either. There's very few original ideas out there, guys. Let's be honest. In the paper crafting world, even the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So I do try to give credit where credit is due. But if someone thinks they came up with this earlier, than Mary or Tamara, then please take the credit, because I just love the inspiration that I get from my fellow demonstrators, and I'm happy to provide inspiration in return. And so you never have to ask if you want to case a card of mine. It's that's why anybody that puts anything out there on the web, It's meant for inspiration, so you shouldn't need to ask permission to copy something that's online. Mind you, it is decent to give credit. That's a nice thing to do. You shouldn't pass off someone else's idea as your own. However, that being said, it can happen inadvertently. It could be that you saw something a long time ago and you don't remember where you saw it. So give someone the grace that if you think that they're stealing from you, just think, you know what, it's probably not intentional. When I was in therapy once, one of the things that they said was important was suspension of malice. And that means to, when you think something negative about someone, to let it go. Let it go and give them the benefit of the doubt that there is a reasonable explanation. And when you do that, life is just so much better. So much better. You can just breathe a little easier. When you have negative feelings, it weighs your soul down, you know? I'm not saying that negative feelings aren't legitimate. They are. But don't let them take over your life. You know what? I made a mistake here. I'm getting too philosophical, but it's actually good that I made a mistake, because then you can see that that's what happens. See, I've left too much of an edge on this side, and now it's just a skinny edge on these two sides. Not a big deal, okay? What are you thinking about this technique? I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. And 3 is a manageable amount of paper to manage. There. Okay, so see, that was my less than perfect one, and it still looks nice. So now the next thing we're going to do, I want to use they're all nice. They're all nice. Look at that. Let me see. Aren't they beautiful? Okay, so helemaal geweldig. It's going to go on here. I didn't make a third one, okay? Sending hugs. I want to cover up my ear. So I'm going to do it like this. And then I have 2 types of ribbon. This ribbon is from the new online exclusives. And I think it came with the Meandering Meadow bundle. So it's really lovely. But it's got a little bit too much cream in it, I think. I'm trying to decide what kind of, I can't, oh yeah. Ooh, I'm all mixed up. I think I have white. I have a white base. So that's not going to work with my white base. But this looks really pretty, doesn't it? So what we're going to do is tie a knot. I'm just going to move this over. And here. So we're going to tie this around above the deer. I don't want to be covering up my deer in any way. And I do not want to make a bow. I just want a knot. The bow is too fussy for this, for me, for what I want for this card. So I'm just sliding it over. You can hold it fairly tightly. The cardstock is strong. Cardstock is going to be on sale on Wednesday, okay? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is our seasonal sale. So now I'm going to trim this. I've wasted a little bit. You can save this, you know, and look, put it behind. See, it's just a little bitty scrap, but you can save it. In fact, you know what? We're going to do that. Here, and then cut. Anyway, the sale is on cardstock, pattern paper, ribbon, and ink, including blends and markers. So make a list of what you want and what you need. And I'm hoping to design a class around it with the autumn paper. And then you'll get some cards in the mail if you order from me. So here is the ribbon. And I'm going to go up a little bit more. Here. See, the sentiment doesn't have to be at the bottom of the card. I'm going up. And then the other trick is, now we can put this on our card. And the card base is a thick basic white. So that's another good thing to stock up on. Make sure you have thick basic white, thick berry vanilla. Here we go. That's going to go down on here. Oh, it looks so nice. And because this ribbon is thin, I'm just using a liquid adhesive. If it was a thick ribbon, I would use dimensionals to pop it up. Okay? There. And I realize that I don't often offer classes because it's a hard thing for me to ship from here. But if I don't offer classes, I also don't seem to get sales. You guys do know that you can just click on the links to buy from me, right? Okay, So now, so I thought maybe I do have to do some classes and not just retreats. So we'll see. I'm thinking about it. So these are the Nested Essentials dies, and the links will be in my YouTube video, and I'll also post them on Facebook. And now my trick when I'm doing this, even though this ribbon isn't thick, I like to do what I call straddling the ribbon. So I'm going to put, I'm just looking for my dimensionals. Yeah, here they are. I like to put the dimensionals so that the ribbon goes in between. So you don't have ribbon going on your, you don't have dimensionals going on your ribbon. It just makes your card more solid. Okay, just a little trick to keep your card looking nice and feeling firm. And I kind of want to cover up this little point here. So I'm going down to cover it up. So maybe I will be on the ribbon a little bit. Because if I do it like that, there's just a wee little piece sticking out, and I think that looks silly. So there we go. How nice is that? Okay, now we have to do our Dutch card because we've got to be fair. So now I'm going to put this on. And there's something that you can see if you look very carefully. It's kind of funny. I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to cover it up or not. If you look carefully, you will see right on the corner there's a little black dot. I was using a scrap, and my scrap had some stamping on the bottom of it, and I couldn't quite get it to fit, but I want to use it anyway. So here, this one's going to go like so. Oh, I'm trying to put a mat on a mat. Oh my word. Okay, I was promising you I was going to show you how to use that little scrap. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around, and instead of using liquid adhesive, I'm going to use tear and tape. If I can find it. Yeah, here it is. So I'm going to put my tear and tape on here, just a little piece. It's called tear and tape because you literally just tear it. There, give it a good rub. Use your, take your pick tool to get this. There we go. And now watch. That tiny little scrap that most of you would have thrown away. See, I was raised by Dutch immigrants. We don't throw anything away. Well, we do, but I was talking to Gerard and telling him that my mother loves candles, but I remember as a child that the candle would be lit, and we didn't have many. The few candles that we had would be lit on Christmas Eve, and we would use them, and then they would get put away again the next year, and the candle would be used again. It didn't get burned out. It didn't burn until it was gone. So look, this one is just going to go up like so, and it's not going to have a big bow. Okay, first we'll put it on our card base. And see, the card base that's your standard measurements. If you make cards a lot, you will remember this. But basically, you're just cutting. What I do is I take the whole piece of cardstock, I score down the middle, and then I turn it and cut down the middle the other way. So here we go. Put this on. So this is Lost Lagoon, the beautiful shade of blue. So if you need help for your order on Wednesday, this is how I do it. I pick my pattern paper, and then I look in the catalog to see what colors are in the pattern paper, and then I make sure that I have those colors of cardstock. And that way you're guaranteed to be able to make a beautifully coordinated project. You will get the most bang for your buck, and your card will look professional. Even if it's simple, because everything coordinates, it just looks amazing. See, so now I am putting a dimensional on the ribbon, but because there's 4, it will be sturdy enough. But you can see how, it's not great. If it was the only one, it wouldn't be wise. So here we go. How nice is that? Okay, so I've made 2. I haven't made the third one because I'm not sure. I haven't decided. I don't have another, no, you know what? Look at this. And then what you can do, instead of making 2, because this one is so big, what you can do is just lay it on here and cut it in a square around. If it needs that. It might be fine just with the white. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. We'll make the third card. Okay. So have you thought of someone to receive this card? I hope so. So I'm not wrapping ribbon around, so this can go on right away. If you haven't decided on a coordinating ribbon, then don't put your card fronts on yet. Just wait till you have the rest figured out, okay? This one comes from, oh, you know what? I don't have it sitting out, or do I? I have so much stuff sitting on my table, it's not even funny. I've got stacks, okay? Yeah, I think it looks kind of blah like that, doesn't it? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It needs something, this card. So I'm going to take this Lost Lagoon extra piece. I'm going to cut it at 1/2 inch, or about 1.3 centimeters. And then I'm going to chop it off a little bit at about 3.5. Well, maybe I should wait. No, I'm not going to cut anything off. Look. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay, scissors. And I'm just going to cut a little notch in here. And that way we have a little bit of something. Oh, I've got something stuck to this. So to do a notch, just cut down the middle. And then from the outsides to the middle. Now, I must have cut something with stickiness the last time. So I need to clean my scissors. Yeah. If there's some tear and tape or something on here. Sticky scissors don't cut well. So just go to the sink, put some Dawn soap on there, give it a scrub with a scrubby, and your scissors will be good to go. And also keep scissors that are just for cutting ribbon, okay? Because paper dulls your scissors. So if you use the scissors that you always use, you won't be able to cut ribbon very well. See? There we go. And we could add a little bit of our pretty ribbon. Look at this. So now I don't know if you hear a little bit of an echo here, but tonight we're picking up a rug. We found it on Facebook Marketplace. And you know what? I'm using my lousy scissors on this ribbon and it's working, so I just made myself a liar. But generally speaking, your scissors will not do well when you have cut other things with them. So now we need a little bit of tear and tape here on both sides. And give it a good rub down. And then with your pokey tool, you take your pick tool, just lift it up. And, oh, sorry, I'm half out of the screen. You know, when you start creating, you forget that you have to be careful where you are in the screen. So sorry if I was making you look at a blank screen. There. And I'm going to do this one the other way. And maybe even halfway, just so that it's different. There. Now we can put some dimensionals on the back. And then we've got, then I'll show you all 3 cards. I'm going to anchor that a little bit. See, so I'm half on the ribbon, half off. And, oh, here I am again. I know some days I'm more mindful of where I am than other days, but you guys are wonderful. Oops, that almost came off.